All hail Biafra. This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please like, share, and comment.
Because of health reasons, because his health is failing him, because his health has deteriorated, because of course he's no longer feeling himself. I mean, when you have issues with your pancreas, when you have issues with your liver, when you have issues with your kidney, when you have swellings all around your body, when you have not slept back to back 3 weeks at a row, when you rarely eat because of course you are afraid every other time if the food is poisoned, that puts you in a lot of medical jeopardy. Yes, you are medically in a state of disequilibrium. Yes, you know, in economics, they talk of a state of equilibrium when they say all things being equal. But of course, when things are not equal, when your health challenges are ever recurring and, ascending in dimensions, when you cannot feel like who you are, automatically you are in a state of disequilibrium, where a lot of tension, a lot of trauma, a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, and of course, a lot of disequilibrium in terms of your health condition. That's where our maximum leader is now. That's where he is because his health has unfortunately deteriorated to the abysmally low level. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier today I prepared an audio for you where I said Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. I guess that was yesterday when I said Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers, have taken his health issues to the vacation judge, Justice Lehman Musa or Justice Musa Lehman, begging him to please hold an accelerated hearing. I mean, where he would determine if Mazi can be transferred away from the DSS dungeon to the National Hospital at Abuja, where he's supposed to get a better medical treatment, a better medical attention, and of course, where he can get succor from all his medical, emergencies. I mean, here's a man whose livers, whose kidneys, whose body has undergone 360 degrees transformation for the worst. I mean, he's having unusual palpitations in his heart. He's having, of course, high blood pressure. He has a lot of blood sugar. And of course, he cannot sleep. He cannot sleep. He cannot breathe comfortably. That means our able maximum leader, Nnamdi Kanu, is in a state of medical disequilibrium. Yes, that's how it is. And that's what has happened. So, of course, his lawyers took the case, down to the vacation judge, Justice Musa Lehman, hoping, of course, that he would have given an accelerated hearing. Of course, they sent the summons to the DSS. They sent the summons to the Nigerian representatives, those who are the ones who are vigorously and who are seriously challenging his freedom, who are the ones who are, completely of course, trying to make sure he is brought to book under Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja. Ladies and gentlemen, the hearing was today, and it's a sad one, very, very sad one indeed. You want to know why it is sad? It is sad because the vacation judge, Justice Musa Lehman, has his hands off. Justice Musa Lehman has equally reassigned the case to the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Yes, he has sent it to Justice Toho. He has said, my hands are tied because, of course, he called the attorney representing the federal government, Justice Awomolo, who Obafemi Awolomo, who is told, this is what these people request because of health grounds. Do you permit this? Do you sanction this? Do you want this hearing to take place? But of course, Justice Obafemi Awolomo said, no, Justice, you cannot do magic. You are not a magician. You have a number of cases here. The time is pretty short. Yes, justices are on vacation. Vacations will soon be over. I don't know what you think you'll achieve if you decide to hear this case. I think, sir, with all due respect, you better reassign this case or defy it because you will not do any magic. This is a long-standing case. Mazen Nnamdi's case, unfortunately, is a secession case where he's charged, for secessionist activities and making Nigeria totally ungovernable. He's charged, of course, for trying to create scenarios that would create disunity in Nigeria. He wants to disintegrate Nigeria. And so because of this, it will be totally appalling if you, as a justice of a federal high court, even though you're a vacation judge, if you give this case an accelerated hearing, if you let him go to the National Hospital at Abuja, you may, sir, with all due respect, be affecting outcomes in the federal high court. That is ably umpired by Justice James Omotosho. Attorney Obafemi Amolowo, said, with all due respect, I'm a son. I want to encourage you, sir. Whatever you do, I will not dictate for you, but I think it's only proper at this stage that you let things flow, let things be. Yes, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu may not die today, he may not die tomorrow. Yes, despite the health challenges. But I would have thought, since the justices will soon be resuming, since the Federal High Court's vacation will soon end, why not let things go the natural way? Why do you want to fast forward things? Are you a magician? You cannot do any magic. Ladies and gentlemen, it's unfortunate, but the Federal High Court in Abuja has once again shifted proceedings in the case of the detained leader of the proscribed, so they said, proscribed indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, as his urgent plea for medical attention was stalled. This is how it is being reported in the Channels newspaper. This is how it is reported, in the evening news today, in all the mass media. They said the Federal High Court in Abuja has once again shifted proceedings in the case of the detained leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB in bracket, Nnamdi Kanu, as his urgent plea for medical attention was stalled. On Monday, Justice Musa Lehman, the vacation judge overseeing the matter, ordered that the case file be sent back to the chief judge for reassignment. The order follows submissions by Kanu's legal team, led by Senior Advocate of Nigeria's son, Uchenna Njoku, who argued that the matter required urgent intervention but could not be concluded before the court's vacation period ended on September 15. It has been reported that Nnamdi Kanu had, through a motion ex parte, sought to be transferred to the National Hospital Abuja after medical examinations indicated worrying health concerns. His lawyer, Chief Kanu Agabi's son, revealed that doctors had detected pancreatic and liver issues, a lump under his armpit, and critically low potassium levels. The examination revealed issues affecting his pancreas and liver, as well as an emerging lump under his armpit and dangerously low potassium levels. The doctors have recommended that he be moved to the National Hospital as an interim measure to forestall further decline, Agabi stated in his filing. It was also disclosed that a formal medical advisory letter had been sent to the Department of State Services, DSS in quote, which is currently holding Kanu in custody. However, the letter allegedly received no response. The federal government's lead counsel, Chief Adegboyega Awomolo San, Chief Adegboyega Awomolo San did not object to the applications, but insisted that the lateness of the filing hindered its hearing. And he went on to say, quote, in case management, the court has the overriding power to decide which matter to take and which not to take. My lord cannot perform any magic, Awomolo told the court. Justice Lehman observed that the registrar had fixed over 30 cases for the day, leaving little room for accommodating Kanu's motion. Citing Section 46(8) of the Federal High Court rules, the judge held that any unresolved matter during vacation must be returned to the chief judge for reassignment. With the reassignment order, Kanu's motion will now await a fresh hearing before another judge, raising concerns among his supporters about further delays to his medical care. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that Justice Musa Liman has sent back back the petition and of course the trial of the case file to the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice uh, John Tahebo Soho. Yes, he has sent it back saying, sorry, your lordship, I cannot hear this matter. The time is against us. Of course, vacation will soon be over. If I start now, I won't finish. Yes, because obviously, Justice Adegoyaga Amolomo has said he is not a magician, and truly speaking, I'm not a magician. I think Nnamdi Kanu should manage. I think whatever has been keeping him, he should pray to his God to continue to sustain him. There's little anybody can do at this stage, of course, unless to wait for the Chief Justice of Nigeria to reassign the case. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Biafrans, you can imagine the condition our maximum leader, Onyendo Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has found himself. I mean, when you are between the devil and the deep blue sea, when you are between the rock and the very hard thing, when you are between the fry pan and fire, moving from kettle to fry pan, you know, it is a very difficult decision. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, this is the situation with our Muslim leader today. He is now faced with a very delicate choice to survive, to make sure he survives until the vacation of the judges and courts are over, so that, of course, another judge might be appointed to handle this is a request, you know, for urgent medical attention, to get medical reprieve, and therefore to be moved away from the DSS dungeon down to the National Hospital at Abuja. Fellow Biafrans, this is a very tall order. This is a very gargantuan request, and it's a very sad one for our own Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu.